Have you ever planted a gorgeous perennial, watched it flourish for just a week or two, and wished it could continue blooming for months? If you're chasing long-lasting color through the seasons, this video is tailored for you. Over the years, I've experimented with hundreds of perennials in garden beds, borders, and containers, and I know which ones truly shine. Plants that deliver consistent, reliable blooms from late spring all the way through fall, as long as they're placed in the right spot and given a bit of routine care. In this video, we'll explore 10 of the best long-blooming perennial flowers, plants that keep the garden lively through repeat flowering, long-lasting spikes, or a steady succession of blossoms when deadheaded or lightly trimmed. For each plant, I'll explain why it flowers for so long, how to care for it to maximize blooms, smart companion planting ideas, common mistakes to avoid, and a few cultivars that are worth seeking out. No fluff, just actionable guidance so your borders, beds, and containers stay vibrant and full of life for months. 1. Rudbeckia, Black-Eyed Susan. Rudbeckias, commonly known as Black-Eyed Susans, are among the most reliable long-blooming perennials you can grow. Their bright, cheerful daisy-like flowers light up late summer and early autumn, making borders feel alive even as many other plants begin to fade. Blooming typically starts in midsummer and, with a bit of care, continues straight through to the first frost, making Rudbeckias an indispensable part of any perennial garden. What makes Rudbeckias so remarkable is their toughness. They thrive in full sun, tolerate heat, drought, and a variety of soil conditions. In fact, they prefer average, well-drained soil. Too much fertilizer encourages leafy growth at the expense of flowers. Once established, they require very little attention. The key to extending their bloom period is regular deadheading. By removing faded flowers, the plant redirects energy into producing fresh buds rather than forming seeds. This simple step can prolong their flowering season by several weeks, giving you continuous color. Rudbeckias come in a range of sizes and shapes. Tall varieties like Rudbeckia fulgida or Rudbeckia hirta can reach 2 to 4 feet, adding height and structure to late-season borders. Compact cultivars such as Little Gold Star are ideal for smaller beds, edging, or containers. Their golden yellow or bright orange petals with dark central cones create a striking visual contrast, and they pair beautifully with asters, sedums, echinacea, ornamental grasses, or Russian sage. When combined thoughtfully, these plants produce a dynamic and textured garden that maintains visual energy even as other flowers fade. Rudbeckias also offer excellent ecological value. Their nectar-rich blooms attract bees and butterflies throughout the summer. Later in the season, if you leave the seed head standing, finches and other birds will visit, turning your garden into a feeding station while adding striking winter interest. Their dark sculptural seed heads stand tall even against frost or snow, providing structure long after the petals have fallen. These plants are relatively trouble-free. While they may occasionally face powdery mildew or leaf spot in humid climates, proper spacing and airflow usually prevent issues. Their sturdy stems resist flopping in heavy summer rain, and they rarely need staking. For gardeners seeking continuous, reliable color with minimal fuss, Rudbeckias are unmatched. They provide weeks upon weeks of golden blooms, withstand challenging conditions, and simultaneously support pollinators and birds. They are more than just flowers, they're a backbone of a late summer to fall perennial display. 2. Echinacea, coneflower. Echinacea, commonly known as coneflower, is another perennial superstar for long-lasting blooms. Native to North America, it begins flowering in early summer and can continue producing flowers all the way until the first frost. Unlike plants that bloom briefly and fade, Echinacea keeps generating new buds, while older blooms remain attractive, offering a continuous show of color. Even after petals drop, the spiky seed heads remain visually interesting and provide valuable food for birds like goldfinches in the autumn months. Traditional coneflowers display pink or purple petals surrounding a bold orange cone, but modern hybrids expand the palette to include whites, yellows, oranges, and even double-flowered varieties. Their sturdy stems and classic daisy-like form lend structure and visual interest to any garden. Echinacea thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, preferring lean conditions. Over-fertilization or soggy ground can lead to floppy stems or crown rot, so simpler is better. A spring feeding, occasional deadheading, and periodic division every few years are generally all that's needed to maintain vigorous plants. Design-wise, Echinacea works beautifully in mass plantings or drifts, complementing plants like Nepeta, Salvia, Rudbeckia, phlox, or ornamental grasses. It fits into cottage-style gardens, prairie-style landscapes, or modern perennial borders, where its seed heads can provide bold winter accents. Pest problems are minimal. Occasionally, leaf spots or minor insect activity may appear, but properly spaced, healthy plants resist most issues. Echinacea's value extends beyond aesthetics. It blooms for months, attracts pollinators like bees and butterflies during the summer, feeds birds in fall, and provides architectural interest in winter. It's resilient, low maintenance, and incredibly rewarding. For anyone seeking a reliable, long-blooming perennial, Echinacea is truly essential. A perennial that keeps your garden vibrant from summer into the colder months. 3. Coreopsis. Coreopsis is a true workhorse when it comes to providing long-lasting color in the garden. Many cultivars begin to flower in late spring and, with regular deadheading, continue to produce vibrant blooms throughout the summer and into early fall. The plant's strategy, fast, abundant flowering with rapid development of new buds, makes it perfect for gardeners who want cheerful, low-maintenance summer color. Coreopsis thrives in full sun and well-draining soil. Too much shade reduces flower production, while overly rich soil can encourage excessive leafy growth at the expense of blooms. To keep the flowering display going strong, remove spent flowers regularly and consider cutting the plant back by about a third in midsummer to stimulate a fresh wave of buds. Height and growth habit vary among cultivars. Shorter, compact varieties are ideal for container planting or for edging garden beds, while taller types work well as focal points or anchor plants in mid-sized borders. Coreopsis pairs beautifully with ornamental grasses, Salvia and Rudbeckia, bringing bright, sunny tones that energize garden spaces and maintain visual interest for weeks on end. Pests are generally minimal. However, powdery mildew can sometimes appear in humid conditions if airflow is restricted. Overall, for gardeners seeking reliable summer-long color without demanding much beyond an occasional deadhead, Coreopsis is an outstanding choice. 4. Nepeta, commonly known as catmint, is a dependable, long-flowering perennial that delivers season-long color while attracting pollinators. It often begins blooming in late spring and, with a simple trim after the first heavy flush, can continue producing fresh spikes of fragrant flowers well into the fall. Its secret lies in its open, arching habit and the abundance of short-lived blooms. A light shear rejuvenates the foliage and encourages new bud development. This plant thrives in full sun and prefers lean, well-drained soil. Unlike many high-maintenance perennials, Nepeta does best without over-fertilization, which keeps the plant neat and consistently flowering. Varieties like Walker's Low are particularly popular because they combine extended bloom periods with tidy, compact growth. Nepeta also makes a fantastic companion plant. Its gray-green foliage softens the lines of roses, lavenders, and echinacea, while its long flowering period provides nectar for bees and butterflies from early summer through the first frost. Pests rarely trouble Nepeta, though excessively wet winters can lead to crown decline. Every few years, lifting and dividing the clumps will refresh the plant and maintain vigor. For container gardening, choose compact cultivars and perform light deadheading to sustain continuous flowering. With minimal maintenance, Nepeta rewards gardeners with months of delicate, aromatic blooms that enrich both the visual and ecological value of any garden. 5. Salvia perennial. Salvias are champions of long-lasting, sustained flowering. Many varieties begin blooming in late spring and continue producing striking flower spikes through summer and into autumn, especially if spent blooms are regularly removed. Their long-season performance comes from a combination of continuous spike production and resilience in heat. Salvias often rebound and reflower with adequate watering and light feeding. Salvias thrive in full sun and prefer well-drained soil. Overly wet or heavy ground can cause the plants to underperform or develop crown rot. Deadheading or cutting back after the first bloom typically promotes a strong second wave of flowers, sometimes continuing until frost. Varieties like May Night and many modern hybrids provide extended bloom, compact growth, and tidy form, making them excellent choices for both borders and containers. These perennials are also magnets for pollinators. Bees, hummingbirds, and butterflies frequently visit salvia spikes, making them perfect for gardens that aim to remain ecologically active throughout the season. Salvias pair wonderfully with Nepeta, Echinacea, and ornamental grasses, adding vertical structure and vibrant color to summer borders. Occasional pests like slugs or snails may appear in damp springs, and late winter pruning is recommended to remove old wood and encourage healthy growth. For gardeners seeking months of reliable, upright color, few perennials rival Salvia in both performance and pollinator appeal. Their combination of durability, extended bloom, and visual interest makes them indispensable in long-season garden design. 6. Agastache. Agastache, commonly known as giant hyssop or hummingbird mint, is celebrated for its tall, spiky flower wands that not only attract pollinators but also maintain an impressively long blooming season, often extending from early summer well into autumn. Its extended flowering period comes from the continual formation of buds along each spike, combined with a strong tolerance for heat and dryness that allows it to keep producing blooms long after thirstier plants begin to fade. Plant Agastache in full sun with well-drained soil, as it dislikes winter wetness. Lean soils are preferable, encouraging the plant to focus on flowering rather than producing excessive leafy growth. To prolong the display, deadhead or pinch the spikes after the first flush of flowers. Some gardeners also trim back mid-season to stimulate new growth and extend the show even further. The plant's aromatic foliage adds a subtle, fragrant touch whenever brushed, and it is both deer-resistant and drought-tolerant once established. Agastache cultivars come in a wide range of colors, from purple and blue to orange and peach, allowing you to select varieties that complement your garden palette. It works beautifully in pollinator-friendly borders, cottage gardens, or Mediterranean-style plantings, particularly when combined with lavender, salvia, or ornamental grasses. With minimal pest issues, though watch for root rot in poorly drained areas, its long-lasting flowers and wildlife value make Agastache a stellar choice for months of active, eye-catching bloom. 7. Gaura is the quintessential airy, endlessly blooming perennial. From late spring through the autumn months, it produces delicate, butterfly-like flowers that float on thin, wiry stems, creating the illusion of a garden in constant, gentle motion. Its extended blooming season results from continuous bud formation along sprawling stems, paired with a tolerance for heat and light drought that allows Gaura to flower when many other perennials have finished. This plant thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. In very fertile sites, it may sprawl excessively and produce fewer flowers, so leaner soils and occasional trimming help maintain a compact, floriferous habit. A mid-season shear cutting back by about 1/3 often stimulates a fresh flush of blooms. Removing old stems in early spring also prepares the plant for a long flowering run. Gaura shines in naturalistic borders, prairie-style gardens, and containers, though compact cultivars are best suited for pots. It pairs harmoniously with salvia, nepeta, echinacea, and ornamental grasses, with its light, airy texture balancing denser flower clusters. While generally low maintenance, Gaura can suffer from root rot in poorly drained soils, and in colder climates, a hard cutback in late winter helps ensure vigorous growth. With its effortless charm and extended flowering period, Gaura provides months of delicate, floating color that brings grace and movement to any garden setting. 8. Sedums, particularly the upright, late-blooming types, are essential for adding a long-season finale to your garden. Starting in late summer, their flower heads develop and gradually mature, remaining attractive well into autumn and often enduring even after the first frosts. This extended display of color and texture makes sedum a cornerstone of any long-season perennial planting. Sedums are drought-tolerant, flourish in full sun, and thrive in lean, well-drained soils where other perennials may struggle. Maintenance is minimal. Occasional division keeps clumps vigorous, deadheading can maintain a tidier appearance, or blooms can be left in place for winter interest and as a food source for birds. Their succulent foliage also provides pleasing textural contrast in garden beds. 9. Verbena bonariensis. Verbena bonariensis is a striking, long-flowering perennial known for its airy, vertical presence and months of continuous blooms. From early summer all the way to the first frosts in many regions, its tall, slender stems bear clusters of small lavender or purple flowers that seem to float above the garden. The plant's ongoing production of new stems and blooms ensures a steady display of color for weeks on end. while attracting butterflies and other beneficial insects throughout the season. It thrives in full sun with well-drained soil and tolerates both heat and humidity far better than many more tender perennials. Deadheading is optional. Some gardeners choose to trim spent flower clusters to stimulate fresh blooms. But thanks to its open, airy habit, Verbena generally requires minimal fuss. Its height and elegant structure make it ideal for mid to back border plantings, where it provides vertical interest and continuous forage for pollinators. In colder climates, Verbena bonariensis may act as a short-lived perennial or require winter protection, but in many temperate zones it performs as a reliable long-season bloomer. While generally low maintenance, gardeners should watch for powdery mildew in very humid conditions and ensure good air circulation to prevent it. For season-long color that rises skyward and delights butterflies, tall Verbena is an exceptional choice. 10. Hemerocallis. Daylilies are celebrated for their blooms that last a single day per flower, yet their true beauty lies in the plant's repeated flowering across multiple scapes. Many modern cultivars and clumping types can produce a spectacular, prolonged display that stretches from late spring through summer and even into early fall in temperate climates. The key to success lies in choosing the right varieties. Repeat blooming cultivars like Stella de Oro are ideal for containers, while larger re-blooming types excel in beds and borders. Cultural care is equally important. Full sun encourages abundant flowering, well-drained but nutrient-rich soil promotes vigorous clump growth, and dividing every 3 to 5 years maintains crown productivity. Deadheading spent flowerscapes and removing old foliage stimulates fresh growth, while a light mid-season application of fertilizer or a compost mulch can boost bud formation and extend the flowering period. Daylilies are highly adaptable, tolerating heat, drought once established, and a variety of soil conditions, which is why they often continue producing vibrant color long after more delicate perennials have finished. They also blend effortlessly with companion plants such as Salvia, Coreopsis, and ornamental grasses, providing a dynamic and enduring backdrop. Potential issues are minimal, but may include spider mites in dry conditions or crown rot if drainage is poor. For gardeners seeking weeks or even months of consistent, low-maintenance color, daylilies are a standout option.